All right, Sean Bormet, coming off of a third place finish at the national championships, and I know you said Saturday night that, man, you don't always get everything you want at this tournament. It's a roller coaster. You have big highs, you have some big disappointments, but you have to be pretty happy with coming home with a trophy for All Americans. Second trophy finish in 3 years. What's your big takeaways from the tournament?
Overall, great team performance, great individual performance. We certainly didn't win, every close match we wanted over that 3-day war, but just incredibly proud of how hard the guys competed, the way they represented Michigan. Those team trophies don't come easy, so every guy scored points. All 9 guys we brought scored points, and I think we were projected to finish 11th based on our seeds, so definitely outperformed our seeds. I knew we were much better than our seeds, and we were capable of much better. And obviously the goal is to win it, but I thought the guys competed really well. It was an unbelievable team race for that second and third place trophy, back and forth with 5 or 6 teams over the 3 days. So proud of the team, proud of where we finished, ready to get back to work for next season.
2 guys in the finals, Austin Gomez at 149, Lucas Davidson at heavyweight. Both of them beat multiple higher seeded guys. Both had unbelievable tournaments. Both took second. What can you say about those guys?
Yeah, just, consistent, throughout the season, the performance, NCAA tournament, just wrestled great matches. Austin Gomez was really sharp, throughout that. I know, a couple things got away from him early in that finals match, which was unfortunate. Didn't quite showcase his ability and the level of his wrestling like those previous matches did. But just great wrestling, and he really had he challenged himself quite a bit. He had an Olympic qualification in Mexico at the end of January. Then he had to go back for to qualify the weight before the Big Tens, and we knew this was part of the commitment. That was right before the Big Ten championships, wrestled through the Big Ten championships, and then on to the NCAA championships. So, he put in quite a body of work over the last 4 weeks. So, super proud of Austin. So glad I got an opportunity to coach him this year in his final season. And then same thing with Lucas. Just really at his best wrestling at the NCAA championships. Beat the number 2 and the number 3 seed to get into the finals. And just, man, great wrestling. Two of probably the more exciting matches in the overall tournament were his quarterfinal and his semifinal. So thought he wrestled just overall great tournament. Another guy, just, man, he didn't miss anything the entire year. So consistent. He led our team in dual meet points, and he led the team in NCAA team points also. So just great wrestling last weekend, Lucas Davison and Austin Gomez.
2 other All-Americans won their last matches on Saturday morning. Dylan Ragans got on the podium for the first time, took 5th place at 133. Shane Griffith had an unbelievably gritty tournament. Wild comeback in the quarterfinals, and then beat the 1 and 2 seed to take 3rd at 174. Talk about their performances.
Dug deep, both of them, multiple times. Really, and we talk about it going into that tournament. That's a skill, and that is something that you have to be in tune with going in. You got to make a lot of decisions about how you're going to compete way before the first whistle blows, and that you're going to have to dig deep multiple times in matches and multiple times over those 3 days to get what you want. And I know both those guys had their sights set on being NCAA champions, and that's one of the hardest things is when, if you lose earlier in the tournament and that dream is over, you got to adjust, you got to dig deep and come back and get the next best place you can possibly get, and for yourself individually and for the team and the kind of team race we were in. Those guys knew that they had to do everything they could to come back for themselves and score as many points as they could for the team in that team race. And Dylan Ragans had a great tournament. He wrestled really well. He was able to wrestle the Big Ten champ and avenge that loss in the quarterfinals to solidify his All-American status, which was really important to him. It's something that had been looming out there for him, and he got that done. His semifinal match was a lot of wild circumstances. Some calls and a stalling call that was actually challenged and overturned against Oklahoma State, which I've actually never seen happen. So, it's just a kind of a wild match, but he wrestled a great match. He was in position to win that match and get himself to the NCAA finals. So to not get his hand raised at the end of that match was devastating for him, but he did an unbelievable job regrouping, coming back hard, and he had an unbelievable fifth place match, wrestled great. It might have been his best overall match of the tournament, and also got bonus points for us at a critical time that Saturday in that team race. Shane, Shane's just a great competitor. I mean, that bracket, especially the top half of that bracket, was loaded. 3 returning national champions and the eventual national champ, beat Shane in the semis. He definitely had a quarterfinal match that he had to dig real deep, where I think he was down 5-0 with like less than a minute to go, and dug deep to win. After his semifinal match, he came back, wrestled great, had to win 2 more tough matches, had to beat I think he had to beat the number 1 and the number 2 seed to come back and take third. And, in his third place match, he beat Mekhi Lewis, who's also a returning national champ and great competitor. So, Shane had a strong finish, the best finish he could have after getting defeated in the semis. Super proud of Shane, and he definitely helped elevate the team and had a significant impact in us getting that trophy.
Season's over. Sometimes it's hard to kind of reflect back. It's a whirlwind the last several months, but what are some of your takeaways from this season? It was, kind of roller coaster at times, but you guys were really clicking by the postseason.
Yeah, it was a unique season. The transfer portal, obviously that's a part of the new landscape, and we've had a transfer or 2 before, but this year we had more transfers than we've had in previous years, and a big part of that was just opportunity and circumstance, and then also, making an investment also to redshirt some of the really special freshmen we have right now. So it was a unique year and definitely had its challenges. I really enjoyed the year, even though it tested us at times, just, pulling this group together. We had our fair share of, injuries and illness and, different factors that all teams face, but overall, I can tell you it made me a better coach. I definitely grew as a coach this year also, which is important. Had a ton of fun. All these guys that transferred, I had previous relationships with prior to them coming to Michigan, so it was extra special to be able to work with them, coach them, and just kind of work as a staff to galvanize this team. The assistant coaches we have are exceptional, and so much of our success is attributed to what they do with these guys on a daily basis. And they just did a great job in terms of developing these guys. As we got tested and challenged at different times, we just remained focused on the hard work to improve week in, week out, and that was really what we tried to keep our focus on. We were real confident we could have this group, rested, energized, and ready to peak in the postseason, and I feel like we did a great job doing that. We were second at the Big Ten championships. We wrestled really well and brought another team trophy home. At the NCAA championships, obviously, we're not fully satisfied with third, but we're really proud of the finish. And I think overall it was a really fun season. We had a lot of fun with these guys, and I think we got the most out of them when it counted the most.
Season's over. What are the next steps? I know you don't necessarily run off to vacation quite yet.
No vacations yet. Right now, it's just, some staff evaluation, athlete evaluation, looking at roster management, going into next season, what that looks like to us, roster development in terms of weight class and we're still doing some recruiting. So a lot of evaluation and, looking towards next season. And then, we also have a lot going on with freestyle and Greco and the club side. We have a couple guys currently in the room already qualified for Olympics. We have 3 alums already qualified for the Olympics overall. So there's a lot of training and preparation for that. We also have European Olympic game qualifier for a few guys coming up early April. So those guys are preparing. We have the U.S. Olympic team trials, which we have 4 guys competing, and we have 3 guys in freestyle with Alec Pantaleo. Actually, 4 guys with Alec Pantaleo, Alex Daringer, Jaden Cox, and Mason Paris, and then Adam Kuhn and Greco. So, over these next 3-4 weeks, the plan is to add to these Olympians for 2024, and then I'll be 100% focused on getting these guys ready to win in Paris.
All right, Sean, thank you all season long. Go Blue.
Go Blue.